Okay, so welcome to the PicoCTF. We're just going to go ahead and cover another one here. I'm not going to lie, this actually was a fairly difficult challenge, so I think it's actually going to be fairly interesting to take a look at. But what we're looking at here is the reverse engineering Hex2Raw. So essentially it says this program requires some unprintable characters as input. So there's some hints here. But how do you print unprintable characters? CLI yourself to, and then that gives you the problem directory and turn that hex to raw. So what I've done here is I've already done a change directory or a CD in Linux to the previously mentioned directory, but here's kind of the issue. So if you do this in the standard way and you're just going through yourself, you can get there. However, there's no permissions on this folder, so it's just easier to go ahead and copy the actual directory and then do a CD, and then I do a paste from browser, you throw it in the box, and then you're into your directory. So first things first, let's take a look at what we have. So there's three files, flag, Hex2Raw, and input. This is something that I tend to do on files during CTFs. Just take a look at them. Linux has a program called strings that print out different strings found in different things. So in this case, strings, Hex2Raw, and it just prints out a list. I'm not going to make you worry too much about these, but essentially as you get more familiar with the way these programs work, you'll start to find more and more interesting things. So what I'm looking for is anything that's not the system information. So you have just different outputs here. It's interesting, it's good to know, but nothing really worthwhile. So I'm going to go ahead and run it. And the way you run programs in Linux, as long as they're already executable, which is probably something for another time, is you would type // and then the name. Essentially here and then run. So this is the output. It says, give me this in raw format. So first thing I did was, okay, let's see if there's an easy way to do this. Copy it. And then let's do hex to raw conversion. And then, okay, let's put that in here. Great. Seems easy enough. Paste from browser, put it in there, press enter. Nope, not what I wanted. Okay, interesting. So this actually took me some research, and where that ended up I'll show you here. I'm going to Control C to get out of the program, and man is essentially a manual file, so it's like a how-to or an instructional guide, write-ups for all the different programs in Linux. Normally when they create something they give you a manual page, but I researched and found out about a program called XXD, which makes a hex dump, or in this case, as it states, does the reverse. Interesting. So there's a -r flag that they reference on the synopsis here, which is interesting because you can revert. But taking a look through these options, you have -r for revert, and then you also have -p, which looks like it does an out script, or an output. So just for the sake of time, it looks like XXD is going to be something we can use. And mind you, this just required some research. Quite a bit of it, but it did require some research. So what are we going to do? So we know we need this string. It wants this in raw format. The problem is when you press enter, enter also has a series of characters related to it as well. So what we want to do now, instead of passing it in the program, because if we do that we have to press enter to give it the information, we're going to pass it a slightly different way. So with Linux you can type echo and just have it play back to your bash prompt. So you can echo literally anything and it'll just shoot it back. Interesting. Okay, so what if we take echo and we put in our string that we wanted to use. Now pipe is used in Linux to take output from one command and pass it into another command. So in this case, what if we take our string that we want to convert and try that in XXD? Okay, so we have what is our decoded information, right? So now we're going to do the same thing, except we're also going to pass that into Hex2Raw. So we're taking the raw string, converting it using XXD, and then giving that to Hex2Raw. And in this case, it gives it to you, or you pass it to Hex2Raw. You gave it what it wanted, and it gives you the flag. So you can put the flag in, you can hit submit, and you'll get your points. This, again, this is a fairly challenging one as far as the PicoCTFs are concerned, but given the research and given the time, I think you guys can do it. Good luck.